Hi, Al. Good morning. Thanks for joining. I'm audible.
Yes, Rajesh.
So, can you please let me know if you have any questions in the previous session? No questions? So, today we are going to talk about Docker networking. So, you can see this, the images. So, the Docker infrastructure will be creating like this. So, we have an infrastructure of physical machine or virtual machine. On the top, we are installing some operating system like Windows or Linux. On the top, we are running the Docker engine and we're creating the containers. This concept you know very well. Hmm? But whenever you creating this type of environment, okay, the backend automatically Docker network will get started. There are three types of networking is there. If you want to check that, go to Docker server and check the command is Docker network ls. What happened? Permission is denied. Sudo su Docker network ls. So you can see this mainly these three types of okay these three types of network will get created. This is additionally I created. Okay, so normally these three networks will get created: bridge, host, none. So these three types of network will create, okay, providing the communication to Docker application services which is running inside the Docker container. Okay, now you can say this. These three look like this is a way. Let me copy the image. And you can see this. The three networks look like this is a way. Suppose if you run the command docker run Ubuntu. Okay, docker run Ubuntu. What will happen? It takes the image and it runs the container. So where it will run and which network it will by default it will run the bridge network. So bridge network which will use to create an internal network within the single Docker host. So what is the purpose of bridge network is a one container will be connecting to another container for communication, and as well as a container can be connected from outside network which will use bridge network. But ultimately the bridge network, whenever you connect the application from outside, the application will be connecting through Docker host server IP address. So what are the IP address? At the time of you created the server, okay, you created the server in the particular environment, like your Windows server, a Linux server, a physical server, a virtual machine server. The particular server IP address we can use and we can access it. This is called bridge network. This is a default network in Docker. So coming to the host network. So what is the host here? Directly the physical server or virtual machine. So if you're specifically you are running that a Docker run hyphen network equals to host, and we're running a container, that directly a single container will be creating on the particular server and with the specific IP address. And next time when you're accessing the application from this host, you can directly provide the IP address of the host, and without an IP port number, without a port number, you can access the application. So no such container cannot be run in the same host with the same port number. So this is called host network. So without network, in isolated environment, if you're running any applications, none. So none we are not using. Maybe offline purpose if you are to use, okay. But if you want to connectivity purpose, either you can use a bridge or host. Are you clear? Now coming to the lab, you can check Docker images. These are the images sorted. Okay, these are the images sorted. Suppose, let me pull the image from, okay, hub.docker.com HTTPD. This is a Apache HTTP server project. It's a HTTP web server from Apache company. Let's copy here. Now the latest HTTPD service is downloaded from hub.docker.com. Now can check, I have a Docker image like HTTPD. Now I'm going to run this particular image to container. The command is docker run -d -name HTTPD 01. The service name I'm going to give HTTPD 01, and port number I want to access externally 8080. Internally, the port number is 80. What is the image name is HTTPD. When I click here, unable to find the image locally. What happened? HTTPD.
Name is only HTTPD, right? You have given 01.
Sorry?
Image name is only HTTPD, right? You have given HTTPD 01.
No. I want to create the container name as HTTPD. That's the reason I'm asking.
Okay. Did we run this image?
Sorry?
We just created this image, right?
Just now we have taken that from internet.
Yeah, we didn't run that.
Let's see. Any mistakes he did. Maybe the port number is wrong. Now it is running. Maybe the command, maybe I am returning as a wrong command. I think so. Yeah, the command is wrong. Why is, I'll let you know. I got it. I got it. So I think it's 8080. It is recognizing. Okay. It's a port, right? I need to provide an -p. It's a typo error. Okay. When hit enter, I got a already container is running. So now what we need to do? Docker rm httpd 01. I removed it.
R is missing.
Sorry?
R is missing.
RM?
I.
No. I'm removing the Docker, right? Container.
No, Docker spelling is wrong. Docker spelling
is wrong. Yeah, that's what. Docker ps and take this Docker stop, hit enter. Now clear screen. Now I'm going to create it. Already container is there. So now Docker stop, done. Next, Docker ps space -a. This is a name, right? Docker rm. No, it's not working. Done. Now we can run this command. Okay. I'm going to create a new Docker container with the name of HTTP01 and running the port number with externally 8080, and it is pointing to port number 80 within this image. This is a what? Perfect. Now it is running. So now we can check that Docker ps. It is running here and port number 8080. But which IP address I can use to connect? Which IP address I can use to connect? Here.
Local internet.
Local internet, correct. Local intranet, brother. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
okay,
local,
okay.
huh?
Okay.
Local intranet. If you have internet connection, that would be public address, you can access it. If it is a Google, okay. Sorry, if it is an AWS environment, otherwise no. You can see this. The IP address is 172.31.46.137. Okay, that you can check here. Is it correct? Is this correct? 172.31.46.137. So this IP address only, ETH0 is there. We are able to get connected. Remaining the Docker 01 some IP address is that this is a virtual adapter. It's a virtual adapter. You should not use to connect that. You should not use to connect that. Suppose, do you want to check that this container is running on the bridge network? How can you check that? How can you check that the current container is running on the bridge network or not? So there is a command is there. The command is Docker network inspect. Whichever the network you want, you can provide that network bridge. You can give this and you can see this, the image, the container, the containers. How many containers are running now? Only one container is running. There is an IP address is assigned by a container services 172.17.0.2. What is that actually? It is an internal virtual IP address. It's an internal virtual IP address which is assigned by Docker service. We should not use this to connect this application because this particular application is mapped to the host IP address. That's a Docker host IP address and mapped with the IP port number 8080. So currently, I'm in the AWS environment. I don't have any other Windows server to connecting, and I want to check that whether it is connecting with the private IP address. No problem. I can directly use the public IP address. Go to internet browser 8080. If I hit enter, it works fine. It works means what? The web page is working fine. Actually, there's a default name they'll be providing in the Apache Tomcat HTTP services. Yesterday, I explained, right, how to copy the data. If you're copying the data for the web content, the web page will be working. Is it clear?
Rajesh, I have one question, Rajesh.
Yes, please.
Actually, why we are checking actually, that is whether it's working in public or private.
I want to show you output, brother. Okay, whether it's working or not. The page is working or not. Ultimately, entire AWS services and DevOps services application only. Okay, the service. I want to show you. If I created, if I'm not showing output, how can you believe you? I'm teaching in a correct way or not?
Okay, that one is okay.
Yeah.
My question is the container, whether it's established with we told host something or bridge, right? What are maybe why you were checking like this? I don't know. That's the reason.
Okay, why we are checking? Okay. So basically, if you're running the multiple containers in single host, we can use a bridge network. Okay. If you're single image, you are running on that server without any IP. I'll show you. Still, we have some more content is there. Let me explain that. Okay. So now you understand, right? The bridge network means the internally the one network is created by default. In that network only, whatever the images we are creating, by default, it will create. Okay. So now the image is working fine. We don't have any problem in that. Suppose if the same application, if I'm creating here, okay. So in a host network, what will happen? In a host network, what will happen? That's the main story I need to explain. Before that, I'll create one more image, one more web server I'll create in the same server, one more container I will create. So, and I will run with a different port number. So then you can check that, how look likes. Huh? So which image you can take? Nginx we can take, right? So Docker images, Nginx is not there. Docker full Nginx. Perfect. So now you can check the Docker images. Nginx is downloaded. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to create a container again. Docker run -d -name Nginx 01. I'm giving the name. Hey, please run the port number 8081 and port number 80 internally. The image is Nginx. So successfully Docker is created. Docker container is created. Now you want to check that Docker PS. So now this is a container ID and now it's running under port number 8081. So now come back, guys. Now if I'm changing the port number, what will happen? If you're changing the port number, hit enter, what will happen? If it is working or may not working, that depends on the situation. So if it is not working, may know what is the problem. Anyone can troubleshoot this issue. Huh? Why this application is not working?
We can configure the port number and
Perfect.
set it.
Where we need to set up?
Security group inbound rules.
The Docker network input.
Docker networking.
In that container.
In that container.
Container.
No. Think and tell me.
రాజేష్ డాకర్ ఫైల్ తీసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు ఇక్కడ.
I didn't understand what you're saying. నాకు అర్థం కాలేదండి మీరు చెప్తున్నది.
లేదు, మనకి మామూలుగా పుల్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత డాకర్ ఫైల్ అలాంటివి మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ చేయరా అంటున్నాను.
ఎందుకు డాకర్ ఫైల్? డాకర్ ఫైల్ తోనే కదా క్రియేట్ చేసేసి వాళ్ళు Nginx అనే ఇమేజ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు Nginx అనేది ఏమనుకుంటున్నారండి? ఒక ఇమేజా లేకపోతే ఏంటది? ఇప్పుడు hub.docker.com లో నుంచే కదా నేను Nginx ని పుల్ చేసినాను. ఇప్పుడు hub.docker.com అనే వెబ్సైట్ లో ఏముంటాయండి?
ఇమేజెస్ ఉంటాయి.
ఆ ఇమేజ్ ని ఎట్లా తయారు చేస్తుంటారు? డాకర్ ఫైల్ యూజ్ చేసే కదా చేస్తుంటారు వాళ్ళు.
ఓకే,
దాన్నే కదా వాళ్ళు పుష్ చేశారు అక్కడ. సో బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్ మర్చిపోతుంది, చూసుకోండి. ఓకేనా? బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్. Guys, basic concepts are you're forgetting. That's not good. Guys, first of all, if the machine is running this IP address now, okay, the security group is must. We need to allow the port number 8081. Huh? Where we allowed it 8081 port number, only 8080 we open. What we need to do? Again, I need to create a 8081 from internet. Now I allowed. Now we can refresh the page. Nginx is working fine. Nginx also is a one type of web server. Okay. Nginx also is one type of web server from nginx.com.
రాజేష్, ఒక క్వశ్చన్ రాజు. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక సర్వర్ మీద ఒక 5-6 మనం గనక
ఎన్ని
application
అయినా చేసుకోవచ్చు,
అప్పుడు
ఎన్ని అయినా
ప్రతిసారి
చేసుకోవచ్చు.
మనం వెళ్ళి ఇక సెక్యూరిటీ రూల్స్ లో యాడ్ చేసుకుంటా ఉండాలా?
Definitely. So one new application means if the same server, different port we need to configure, the particular port we should allow in the security group. Mandatory.
ఓకే.
Mandatory.
ఓకే. ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా ఈ నెట్వర్కింగ్ యూస్ ఏంటి? మనం ఎందుకు తెలుసుకుంటున్నాము? అంటే బ్రిడ్జా, హోస్ట్ కనెక్ట్ అవుతుందా, కంటైనర్ అనేది ఎందుకు తెలుసుకుంటున్నాము? ఏంటి రీజన్ అనండి?
చేసాను నాకు ఎలా చెప్పాలి అర్థం కావట్లే. బేసిక్గా basically is a Docker is a virtualization technology only. Okay, similar kind of virtualization. So if application is not working, how can identify so-and-so application is not working, which is running on the so-and-so port number? How you will be identifying? Through network only, right? Without network, are you able to communicate any application in the real world? No, right? So definitely Docker also it managing some networking concepts. That concept we are understanding. Actually, this is an advanced concept. Okay, a troubleshooting level of మీకు use అవుతుంది. In general, normal way, it is not using. I'm really accept you. But every engineer, you need to know about this networking. Then only you can deploy. Example, brother. Your question only, I'll be repeating that. Example, I'm asking you, I'm a client. I'm asking you, can you please stop the web server? You know, Rajesh is so-and-so client. Okay, but you don't know which application it is. Huh? So
Okay.
what you will do? Example, if you want to stop the services, where you'll go and stop it? Either you need to stop the container, either you need to disable the network. Which network you will disable? You will not disable the network. If you disable the network, entire applications will get damaged. Am I right?
Yes.
Both applications will get damaged. If suppose you want to stop the application, you can go to security group and you can remove that rule. Which rule? Here. Here is an option is there. Okay. Edit inbound rule. Here you can remove it. The connection.
అంటే డైరెక్ట్ డిలీట్ చేస్తే సరిపోదు కదా? ఆ పర్టికులర్ పోర్ట్
That's it.
ఐడి ఉన్నది.
That's it.
ఓకే.
Maybe you can remove this. You can remove this. And maybe you can set any IP address, or maybe you can remove this rule. That's it. If I'm removing this application won't work.
అలాంటి ఎలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ లో రియల్ టైమ్ లో మనము
In maintenance.
మెయింటెనెన్స్.
So Saturday, Sunday, we are taking a maintenance for the application. If user is continuously accessing, how the deployment will go in the production and the backend. You can stop the port number and you can ask them to developer to deploy the application on the server. Once you test locally, then you can go. No problem. This is external port, right? Internally, it will work. Internally work means you can open any mission and you can check that it will work. This is external communication. So as of now, we learned the Docker bridge network, we understand. What about host network? Yeah, we can create it. Host network also we can create it. Okay, host network also we can create it. So how can you create it? I'll show you. Clear? And before going, I'll go with Docker inspect. HTTPD also running, in Nginx also running in this particular bridge network. Okay, is it clear? Previously, only one application is running with only one container. Now it's a two containers are running. This is an internal IP address. This is the internal IP address of container. So next concept is I'm going to create a container in host network. Docker run -d hyphen name, HTTPD 02. 02 I'll take it. Hyphen net. Net means network. Host. HTTPD. This application we are taking. Application is run. Now can check Docker PS. Now HTTPD is running no port number. So what do you mean that? Now can directly, you can go here and you can remove these IPs and hit enter. Hit enter. Port number 80. Connect from anywhere. Save the rule. Now it's working fine. Is it clear? Any other question? Now I'm not mentioning any port number. Directly with the host IP address I'm connecting. So previously bridge network, the particular port is mapped with a physical server IP address or maybe virtual server IP address. That's a Docker host server. Now in the host level, directly it's connecting to a physical level. You can think like, okay, application is running directly on the server. But only one condition is I cannot run another application with the same port number here. Can you please tell me what is the default web port number? What is the default web port number?
8080.
80, correct. So 80, any website is a default port number is 80. So 80, if one service, if it is used, we cannot use another service.
అప్పుడు మనం బ్రిడ్జ్ కి హోస్ట్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటంటే ఇలా చెప్పొచ్చు పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ యూజ్ చేయకుండా హోస్ట్ చేస్తామని చెప్పొచ్చు.
We can run multiple applications with the different port numbers and we can bypass it from the bridge network. If you use a host network, we can directly attach the services to the host IP without providing a port number. But the condition is only single application run with this port number. We should not run more than one application.
When you use in this scenario in real time?
If you have only one application, it's a big level application, you are delivering it. Okay, only one container you need to run on the single Docker host server, we can use this model. If you have multiple means, you can go with the bridge network.
Okay.
Suppose now I'm giving 8081. Huh? You can see this. Now application is working. Even though if I'm giving 80, it's working fine. It's sorry, 8080, right? It's working fine. And if I'm giving 8081, it's working. So now the default IP I'll be mapped with the host network and other applications I pointed to the different application. So like 808. So that's your wish. Either you want to directly accessing like this, or maybe you want to give the port number also, that would be fine. Not a, but mandatory is not mentioned. So 8080 is not required. Not required. Because of already the host is IP address is configured like that. So in a single server, you can create a Docker host network and a Docker bridge network also. Both will be supported. No problem. But you need to carefully maintain that. That's your wish.
Rajesh,
Yes, please.
in real time, how many hosts we are managing?
That depends on the company. You
Okay.
could not say like this many. Example, if you are asking me in my project, I can tell. Okay. So in my project, nearly 80 containers we are running. 80.
Hosts, yes. Docker host.
All are running on Amazon EC2.
EC2. Okay. 80 virtual machines we are managing.
No, no, that's what I'm telling. We are not running 80 virtual machine, 80 containers.
Okay. I'm asking hosts. Host means
Host
Docker.
means nearly 16 to 20 hosts we are running.
Okay. Is do you have any what is that? For example, one host is down.
Okay. We don't have any problem. That's what I'm telling. So we have 80 containers, right? 80 containers are created with nearly 20 Amazon ESX servers. So what is the ratio? What is the ratio?
20 is 80.
1:4.
1:4.
1:4. Okay.
1:4. So example, this is a way we are doing that. This is a way of doing it. Okay. So example, this is all 4 containers are single applications. Okay. Same type of applications here. So all container application, we are load balancing. All applications, we are load balancing with the load balancing technique. Elastic load balancer, you know, right? So with that elastic load balancer, we are load balancing.
Okay.
If the server is running with a single operating system, single container, there is no more use. Okay. Because of we need to save more money for the project, right? Ultimately. So we need to run the more applications. So with the 20 servers, we're running nearly 80 containers, 80 applications we are running. So 80 applications, hardly we have 15 applications like that. 15 applications. 15 or 10 applications. Suppose if you're running this environment now, you're wastaging of your memory. The complete host we will be running only a single container, right? That we need to check. So based on your budget, application, number of users are accessing, that will decide it. Any more questions, please?
How many containers you can able to run in a particular Docker engine?
It depends on your machine you're selecting. So what are the Amazon machine image you are selecting, right?
Hmm.
Based on that, like a machine type.
Okay. One more question, Rajesh. When you will remove that Docker network actually?
We're not
Any-
removing the network.
Okay.
Until you are decommissioning of the application, then you can remove. Otherwise, no. If you remove the network, the communication will lost, right? Huh? Users will not able to access the application. So when you're doing that, maybe end of life project, decommissioning, so migration, maybe during the time you can do.
దీంట్లో మైగ్రేషన్ కూడా ఉంటుందా?
Yeah, definitely. Somebody will be migrating from Amazon EC to Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. They are doing it, right?
Okay. అంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ అనేది మనకి ఎన్ని రకాలు వస్తాయి మొత్తం? అప్పుడు మైగ్రేషన్, సపోర్టింగ్, ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, ఇలా న్యూ
మైగ్రేషన్
ప్రాజెక్ట్.
మీకు రాకపోవచ్చు, వచ్చినా కూడా రావచ్చు, చెప్పలేం. Even you are supporting for that because of depends on the project. But you need to be ready for that. So you need a multiple cloud knowledge and you have to improve yourself. You need to be ready. Example, you want to become a driver. If you learn the driving from one of the driving school with one of the branded car like a Maruti Swift, so you're not expecting from every car owner only I can drive Maruti Swift. Not like, right? You should drive different branded cars as well. So that's why you should not stick on with the AWS environment only. Parallelly, you can take any kind of videos from YouTube or maybe any social media websites, education platform sites are there. You can buy some videos and all. You can learn, self-learning is fine for you because of anyhow you're already learning completely Amazon Web Services. The similar services only, the names are different. But not in all the cases. If any project, if your project is moving, yeah, then only. You can tell them your management, I'm not expert in Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud. Give me some time, I'll train that concept, then I'll do that. But not 100% I can do that, but I can manage it. Based on your confidence, you can drive the project. Actually, I worked the Docker containers from moving from VMware environment to Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Amazon Web Services to Microsoft Azure, Azure to AWS. So these type of projects I handled it, my previous company and my previous projects. So currently also I'm doing one of the project actually from on-premises to AWS cloud migrations are doing it. But it's a very big network, very big network. I'm actually one of the big client in US, nearly 26 locations, 26 data centers are there. In all the 26 data centers applications, I'm centralizing into 2 data centers actually. Okay. For cost saving, they're removing the data center. For management cost for each data center, they maintain a network operating system engineer and service engineers, right? In all the locations. So they'll be put into the central data center, like in Amazon only. The completely physical data center is moving out. So the applications are migrating now to AWS cloud. That's a very different story. That's a different story actually. There's an outpost concept is there, Amazon outpost. There's a big lorry will be coming to your office network. Then they'll be install one server on your data center, copying all the data. Then again shipping, removing the network cables and power cable. Again shift it to the lorry, and lorry will be taking to the data center. It'll take depends on the miles you're traveling. Maybe example, maybe 1 day, 2 days, depends on the distance, your location to the Amazon data center. Once the data center is reached, they'll put the rack and they'll be providing the IP address details and configuration to you, one of the technical engineer. Then you need to reconfigure it and you are providing access to from Amazon environment to your on-premises environment. There's a lot of work is that. But honestly, with your experiences, so maybe they'll not assign to you. Once you keep on providing your support to the project, if they have a confidence, they will be giving such kind of projects. Otherwise, no. Normal projects only will handle it. Okay. So maybe if you have a good experience on previously like a on-prem environment, so if you have a good knowledge and good experience, good confidence, then you can take out the project. But unnecessarily don't take any projects. First, you need to take input, take some time and Google it, and you can check with your friends or colleagues. Then you can take the project. Otherwise, you can tell directly. So this is a very high level project. I would not able to handle it. Most of the works you are from the Docker engineering side. Some application will be most of the 90% existing applications only. So we need to update into the new images. The images we need to store into the hub.docker.com, either into Amazon ECR. Then you need to create a containers and proper networking channels and port bindings. And port bindings will be allowing in the network switches, like in security group in Amazon Web Services, either maybe in Microsoft Azure means a VNets. So then we need to provide this network to security team. They will allow in the corporate firewall. Then you can access it. So these are the regular job you're doing it. Okay. And performance monitoring. So how the application is working. You have some third-party monitoring tools are there. Going forward, I'll explain that.
రాజేష్ ఒక క్వశ్చన్ రాజేష్.
Hmm.
మామూలుగా రియల్ టైంలో మనకి ఎన్ని రకాల ప్రాజెక్టులు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు మామూలుగా? అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్, మైగ్రేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, ఈ మూడేనా ఉండేది, ఇంకేముండవు కదా?
Existing project means already whichever the applications are running on the Docker, that's called existing project. New project means same account. Maybe new application they want to release it and they want to be containerized. You want to take it from the scratch level. You need to create a Docker file and from the scratch level, and you need to create the Docker compose and you can create the container. You are the whole and sole responsibility person for that. And third one is a migration project. Yes, one environment to another environment, or existing environment to the new environment that you need to take it. Some altogether migrations.
ఈ డెవాప్స్ కి రోల్స్ అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ అంటే మామూలుగా ఈ పైప్ లైన్స్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ అయిపోతాయి, అవి ఎంతేనా? ఇంకేమైనా
That is actually Jenkins CI/CD pipeline concept. Okay.
అంటే రియల్ టైంలో ఎలాంటి టాస్క్లు చేస్తారని ఒక ఐడియా కోసం.
That's whatever I'm telling you as of now. So network creations, container creation, Docker file creation, Docker compose creation, migrating the container from one environment to another environment, everything will be doing that. Example, I'll tell you migration in simple way. If one of the server, it is a Docker host, it is running 4 containers. Okay. You know, right? Container is a volatile concept. You know what is meaning of volatile?
No, Rajesh.
Whenever you're running,
Unchanging.
then only it will work. Once you stop the container, nothing is there. Okay. So just like a server. So when again running it, it will use the image only. So once you stop the container, means application will not work. Image will be there. Then we have to move the server to different location. Again, we have to provide the power and the networking. Then we need to start the container by using the image. This is called migration. How your migration is, that's a different story. If your VMware environment to Amazon Web Services is a different story. VMware to different physical server environment is different story. One cloud to another cloud is different story. Within the same cloud, Amazon Web Services to one AWS account to another AWS account is different story. It depend on the situation you need to act it for the migration. All are not same situation.
Rajesh,
Yeah.
Is this container occupies less space where compared with the general applications, or same space will be occupied?
I'm not understand.
Actually, coming to the volume, I'm asking. So, is the containers occupies less volume where compared with the regular applications?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So comparative with the normal physical or virtual machine, it can consume the more space, right?
Yes,
But
that's
he's a very minute operating system. You know what is the image size? You have seen, right? Like a 20 MB, 30 MB, huh? 30
okay.
MB, you're running an application means that's complete a server. Huh?
Yes.
Mm.
That means the volume reduction will be there, and
Volume
similarly cost will be
reduction and
reduced. Cost
and the
also will
amount
be
of
reduced.
CPU memory also reducing very less.
Yeah.
Uh, Operating system also is there, but basic
We can
operating system.
optimize some cost somehow, right?
Sorry?
We can optimize the cost somehow, right?
Because of the Docker was creating only cost optimization technology only.
Yes.
Virtualization technology for cost optimization technology. Yeah? If virtualization or maybe Docker technology, if it is not giving a cost optimization, why the people are coming from the physical to virtual or virtual to Docker? Tell me. No.
Yes.
So thank you.
Rajesh, last
Please.
question. If you possible, you can show me one migration project, Rajesh, sample. You can AWS to.
Yeah, migration topic is there.
Okay.
In this batch, one migration project is there, but unfortunately, my server have some hardware issue. Okay, my physical server has some hardware issue. I'm already informed to the technician, so he is not at Hyderabad and he's out of station. And once he's coming back, and we'll fix the physical server, and we need to try that because of we are creating the server on the VMware environment. After some time, it will be deleting automatically. Okay, this is some problem is there. So I informed that the technician is not came. So once it is there, definitely we'll create one virtual machine and we'll do the migration. Yeah, definitely I'll show you.
Okay, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Rajesh, last one.
Hmm.
First, we'll create this Docker virtual machine, right? In this mission, we can use a single mission for the production to launch multiple websites. Can we run the multiple websites in production websites in a single Docker VM?
You should not say this Docker VM. You should call it as Docker host. Okay.
Okay.
So in a Docker host, yes, you can run multiple application. Example is container 172.0.2 is running with a different port number, one application. But your Docker host is a 172.17.01. This is actually Docker 0. That means is an internal network. Okay. But anyhow, the Docker host has a different IP address that only we are accessing with our if config and we are finding it. With that, we are able to access a container with the port number and accessing application outside or internal also. Different applications are same application, your wish. Why
In
we are
that
doing the
way,
same applications? Because of one container is down, at least another container will provide applications to the user.
yes,
Hmm.
it will connect from other port.
Exactly.
I mean, other IP.
Not port like that.
Another IP, and
Exactly.
yeah. That means
రాజేష్ మరి హోస్ట్ లో ప్రాబ్లం వస్తే రాజేష్ హోస్ట్ లో మనం
పోతుంది
కంటైనర్
కంప్లీట్ గా పోతుంది
అప్పుడు హోస్ట్
complete
లో మనం ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలి
all containers is down, but we have another Docker host we will be configured with the same services.
అంటే రియల్ టైమ్ లో హోస్ట్ ఇచ్చేస్తే డేంజర్ అన్నమాట అయితే
Host పోతుంది లేదని చెప్పట్లేదు. Definitely Docker host will down. If the Docker host is down, all the containers will down. Example, this all container will down. Okay. but one more Docker host, the same application is running. That's the way we will be planning in real-time environment. మనం ఇంకొక డాకర్ హోస్ట్ తో రన్ చేస్తాను నేను చెప్పాను కదా మాకు 20 డాకర్ హోస్ట్ సర్వర్స్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పాను కదా ఆ 20లో మేము ఎలా చేస్తామంటే సో ఫస్ట్ 2 containers one application, another 2 containers another application. These 2 containers and will be running with the like this. Like this. Suppose this is one type of applications. Now when we are doing the load balancing, with this server, we are doing the load balancing. How many services are running now in the load balancing for this application? 6 servers. Huh?
Yes.
Suppose as per your question, if this is down, we have any problem?
No, it will.
We have
run
a 4
from
servers are
another-
running. 4 servers are running. Fine, no problem. Okay, but instead of previously 6 servers running, now 4 servers are running. Too much of load will be carrying by these 4 containers. So basically, in this situation, auto scaling feature will come into the picture. Now Kubernetes come into the picture and checks the load. In case the load is more than threshold utilization, one more Docker host will create automatically in the backend, like this. So now, again, these 2 applications, again, they'll be participated in the, load balancer. That's it. Now balance is okay. Now 6 servers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to take much time and you can remove the container. You don't require it. Problem అయితే తీసి పక్కన పడేసి కొత్తది క్రియేట్ అయిపోయింది మీరు ఎందుకు ట్రబుల్ షూట్ చేస్తారు సో దట్స్ ఏ ట్రబుల్ షూటింగ్ వర్క్ ఈస్ రెడ్యూస్డ్ హియర్ అండర్స్టాండ్ సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద లోడ్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ ఇట్ విల్ అడ్జస్ట్ ద డాకర్ హోస్ట్స్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ అండ్ డిక్రీజింగ్ by auto scaling with the Docker orchestration service, nothing but Kubernetes. I think in this batch, a few of them are not attended my Kubernetes class and few of them are attended. So who are attended, you know that. Yeah, how Kubernetes will work. Yes or no? I used to create a Kubernetes and I enabled the auto scaling. It was created at 2 Docker host services, the name called pod. Did you remember? Pod, P-O-D. Pod creation. So what is meaning of pod? Running container in a separate group of containers we called as pod. You remember? Galip, you attended a Kubernetes class, I know. You're not responding. Shashi, you're also attended. You're not responding that. Rajalakshmi, Ramya, you are attended my Kubernetes class.
No, I was not attended, Rajesh.
No. The class was attended. Can you please
No,
raise
I
your hand who are attended Kubernetes class?
I was not attended, Rajesh.
Okay, Galip, what about you?
Sorry, what is that?
Did you attended my Kubernetes class?
Yeah, Kubernetes.
Sorry?
Yes, I heard it.
Yeah, right. So I think you are also in the same. I think you shifted, right, Ramya, to morning class.
Yes.
Okay, I think maybe
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
no problem. So
I
maybe after
supposed to
this,
ask when it will be started.
after this, after this class, we will
And
start.
is there any pending topics are there in
You can
coming to
check
the
that.
Docker?
We are already maintained Excel, so please maintain the. You can update the sheet and you can let me know. So today
Okay.
Sunday, I'm free. You please check and update me what is the pending topic. I'll try to finish that one.
Okay.
Okay, guys, thank you. So after this class, and we are planning to move Kubernetes, and you can practice this all the Docker services one to two times. Huh? In Amazon Web Services, we can take one Ubuntu server. We can practice all the sessions. Huh? Then be ready for Kubernetes services.
Sure.
Thank you all.